All right. Good evening, everybody. Let's go ahead and do a sound check, mic check, background check. How's everything? JDP trades. Coach is late. I think everybody else is just a little bit early. Coach is never late. There's also a little bit of a delay. Come on. Sounds good. Everything sounds good. Great. So let's go ahead and just dive into the markets. Here's our risk disclosure. I'm Coach Dakota. Welcome to Slow Markets. As always, we're going to be talking and analyzing the live markets you guys see behind me. There's our risk disclosure. Everything I say is for educational purposes only. And this is called Slow Markets for a reason. Yes. If you have any questions, go ahead and throw them into the chat. And we have a great team that's behind the scenes who will be feeding me some of those questions. As always, the start of the class, let's go ahead and dive into it. Let's talk about today. Let's talk about the markets, and then I'll be taking breaks throughout the slow market session to be answering questions. So let's talk about the NASDAQ. You guys could see I have the NASDAQ daily chart behind me. This is something I was a little bit afraid of. In terms of the way the market was acting. And if you remember what I was talking about last night, where when we rally up to break new all-time highs, I don't like it when we don't have a pullback, or I do not like when we break all-time highs if we do not have a pullback. And I think we've seen that today. We had this huge rally. We broke an all-time high, right? And then we failed, and then we started to sell off. So as we go through tonight, this is really bearish. This is not what I wanted to see in terms of just that having that nice, beautiful run up. This is an ugly looking candle. It's a doji candle. When we get these, it's usually at the top of trends. Kind of a hesitation candle, indecision, whatever we want to call it. But let's zoom into a 60-minute chart, and I'll go over what I was talking about and what I was referring to. So here's a 60-minute chart on the NASDAQ. And here was, of course, FOMC. And we rallied. There was hardly, pretty much zero pullback. I mean, you could argue there was a 50-point pullback here. And then we came up, we started to consolidate as well. And I took some losses today. I have to admit, I struggled. I took some losses during the New York session. I was buying the NASDAQ up here, and we started to, and I'll go through my trade. With hindsight, it was a stupid trade, but it followed my rules. It followed my risk strategy. Guess where I was buying? My order, I had two orders to buy. We were consolidating. We hesitated during the open of the New York session, and then we started to push higher. And I was looking for just a quick breakout, maybe a break into like the 720s or somewhere higher. And in the New York session, the high of the New York session was 18,709. And so as we started to push into the 700s, I bought the NASDAQ. One order was at 685, which was a great one, and then I added to it. My final long was, I think it was like 701, 702, and that happened to be the high of the day pretty much. So that was a rough one. I took a loss on there, and then I was looking to buy the pullback, and guess what? Guess what happens when you try and buy the dip and it just keeps on dipping? You get your butt handed to you. So that being said, after we go through how I was trying to buy these pullback and it kept on dipping, let's look at where the market is now and what we could look for. I've been wanting, and maybe this is something on me, right? Because with the hindsight of 2020, after the fact, right, we always want to look back at our trades and we could say, you know what, that probably wasn't the best idea. However, we were breaking and holding above all-time highs, so I was fine with that trade, even though yesterday I was looking for the market to have a pullback. Very much like what I was saying is, a trampoline. You have to go down before you go up, like a springboard, rubber band, whatever you could call it. We are getting that pullback. We had a really nice sell-off during the afternoon session. Pretty much, we went from pretty much 700 all the way down to 550s. And so the question we ask ourselves is this the pullback that we want to be buying, right? And is this something that we're going to be looking at trying to take advantage of to see if we can make another run and actually gain some momentum to break out to all-time highs? So I think so. That's, of course, what I'm going to be looking. Everybody knows that I am a permanent bull on the markets. Over this past few weeks, I've been chopped out trying to short throughout here. Price action is looking a lot cleaner. I'm a buyer in this market. We had FOMC just Wednesday. There was some great news. We reacted great. We just made new all-time highs. So very much when we make one all-time high, let's see if we could go ahead and make another. And we want to make sure we're practicing good risk management. So we had that sell-off. We went down. We touched 18,550s. And we're starting to consolidate. We have the main candle that I'm looking at, which is right here. We made the last hour of the trading session. And you can see the low of this is 552. The high of this is 601. And we're kind of consolidating on that. So two things that I'm looking at tonight. And I keep looking up here because I'm trying a new setup, the way that I have this set up, to hopefully I'm able to answer a lot more questions and maybe introduce gold. Like I said, I'm currently trying to slowly introduce gold. Rip says, Coach Dakota, I'm currently long 3 lots looking for us to bounce here. Are you on you're talking about the NASDAQ, right? Double top and a beat flag. So yeah, I think to me, I'm going to be long biased going into tonight and tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I am going to be on what is it? Power Hour tomorrow, I believe. I'll double check, but I am on TopstepTV tomorrow during Power Hour. I'm pretty sure. And so you catch me there. I don't know how that's going to be. I typically don't trade during Power Hour, especially on a Friday afternoon, right? We'll see. I do trade the New York session sometimes. So, and we all know. Yeah, Daniel's confirming. Yes, 2 p.m. Central Time, Power Hour. So I will be on there. I will see if there's any setups. It's Friday during an FOMC week. We could see a lot of volatility in the markets. Danielle, it's on my calendar. Sometimes I just don't check, and whenever it pops up, I'm like, okay, this is what I have going on. The great thing is Google is amazing at putting stuff on my calendar. Yeah, I'm bullish. I think we could do 2 ways of entering into the market. And we all know that. If we believe that we could have maybe another sell-off and an opportunity to get in long using a buy limit order, then of course I'm going to be looking for longs around support or resistance. However, I think this is a great level in terms of where we were and what we've seen during FOMC. Because during this FOMC yesterday and where we ended up during slow markets yesterday is pretty much right here, right? We've seen kind of some resistance here, kind of some support and resistance. And if we sell off, we're kind of at that same area. And if we do start to break up, right, we have some support here. Support is trying to become resistance. And if we do break up above this, then there is a possibility of a continuation. And this would be a very basic, buy the dip. And maybe we're going to be looking at this tomorrow and say, we should have been buying the dip, right? The trend is up. We had an amazing FOMC. We had a huge day yesterday. We had a bit of a sell-off in the afternoon, and that was the opportunity to buy the market. We don't know, right? We never know what is going to happen in the market. We could just try and position ourselves to see if we can find the best risk reward. We could follow our trading strategy, and we can manage risk. So this could be one of those opportunities where we can manage risk. And for me, it would be the stops below this pivot, whether I'm getting in using a limit order or I'm getting in using a buy stop. A buy stop, for anybody who's here, would be an order where we don't get triggered in until we break out, And I definitely would be looking at this candlestick as a big reversal. Maybe we do have that 600 psychological level, and we might see some more consolidation tonight. Do we have any news events? Let me check. Let's see. Let's see news events. Like, remember, I'm looking at the markets for the first time, just like you guys. I sit down and this is me trading, and a lot of what you guys hear is going to be me thinking out loud, right? So we have not too much. We have, of course, Fed Chair Powell is speaking tomorrow, and we have, that's pretty much it. A Euro summit, and then Fed Chair Powell speaks. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I know you guys in the chat are a lot more up to date than me because you guys are always watching it. But I'm going to be looking for either some buy stops to get into a long if we break out, or possibly some limit orders if we push down and maybe we have another pullback to give us an opportunity to get into the market here on the NASDAQ. So let's get some of these questions in. Let's go here. Dakota, do you think we are going down today to the weekly value area? I'm not sure. I typically do not look at, value area highs, value area lows. A lot of what I do is looking on these higher time frames, like the 60-minute daily, and I look at very basic support and resistance. And I'm looking at one right now where we sold off. We made a pivot. If we do sell off again, the next area that I possibly would be looking to buy it is going to be around 18,500s, because we showed a lot of support in this. If we do sell off, right? We don't always have to be selling off. If we do rally, I mean, this could have been the pullback that we're all waiting for, because you could only imagine during FOMC, we just rallied, and everybody who was, maybe missed the opportunity, maybe a lot of people who are waiting for that pullback to put their money to work, and it is Friday tomorrow, could be viewing this as a pullback. We did get something similar here, right? So if we go back in time, and this is just an example where we rallied, and this was an extended rally. We did get that pullback, and that was a great buying opportunity, and then we pushed up higher. However, we failed, and so today we failed, and then we got the pullback. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Let's make sure we get some more questions in here. What is your best strategy on the NASDAQ? I think I'm just kind of going over it, right? Very basic, very simple support and resistance, looking for areas to limit my risk. And this very well could be one of them. And the way that I would do that, just so you guys know, is I would most likely do something like this, because this is an example, and this is a way and a style that I do trade. It would be, say, I would either use a buy stop, and then I'd put my stop loss here, and then I would look to take profits up into these highs. And this is on the hourly chart. And I would most likely use a micro, which is only $2 per point. And that's saying between now and tomorrow, only if we break above, say, 600 or whatever level this is, I would get triggered into a long. And then I would be risking, it looks like, 50 points, maybe 55 points, $2 a point. Do the math, not very much. What is it, $200? 50, it's only $100 per contract. So I'd be risking 100 to make maybe 125. This looks like a little bit better of a risk reward. So therefore, I like to risk about $400 per trade. And I would definitely get into maybe 2 or 3 micro contracts on this. So that way I could have maybe 2 take profits, where I could use a take profit here, maybe leave a runner on, or just have 1 take profit and then leave a runner on to see if we do break all-time highs. Because trust me, it's really nice if you get into a decent position and we start testing the highs, and then you just are in a risk-free trade. You can move your stop loss to break even or higher, and then hold 1 micro throughout, maybe a break of all-time highs. Like, that is a possibility. and sometimes I could catch a move. And like I said, it's micros. Even though my stop loss is 50 points, I'm not risking $1,000. It's micros, it's not minis, and so the risk reward is okay. It's all about position sizing. No way would I want to. Could we do this with like 3 minis, right? 3 minis, that's a daily loss limit, and I would never suggest something like that. Micros, especially when we have wider stops, that allows us to have those wider stops, trading micros. Micros don't pay the bills. Well, I will argue, yes, they do. It just depends on, are you trading 2 micros, 3 macros, and then how big are your bills, right? Myself included, I do pay my bills with trading, and my phone bill is $120. And for me, that's monthly. And so if I'm trading 3 micros and this is my risk reward, I'm risking $300 with micros and my reward's $300. That's 2 months of a phone payment, right? And of course, it's give or take, and it's more about the expectancy, because some days I have bad days, some days I have good days, bad weeks, good weeks, and even I have bad months and even bad quarters. Right now, I'm only up $4,000 for this month. Last month was pretty ugly for me, to be honest. So I hope that makes sense. Any questions on this? I pretty much cover this every single night, and sometimes it could be boring, but that's okay. That's trader math for you. Yeah, that was some quick trader math. Round trip commissions is $5 per contract. Let's go ahead and pull this up. And let's jump into the crude oil. Crude oil is looking really tempting to me, and it's something that I've been trading. I'm a crude oil bull trader, and I've been bullish crude, and I've been looking for a pullback. It's been a beautiful rally up from $77 a barrel. We broke through the 80s, and we peaked at about $83 a barrel. And, it's been really tough because, as a bull, and you believe oil can continue to go up into the mid 80s and be in an uptrend, we want to be a buyer, right? And it's very hard for us to buy the market, especially on a higher time frame, when we went from $77 a barrel all the way up to 83, and we kind of need a pullback, very much like I was talking on the NASDAQ, to get into the market. Well, I think we're in that area now for crude oil where it's looking really attractive to me in terms of finding a pullback. Ever since pretty much we peaked out on the 19th, and the past few days has just been a sell-off. I was looking for $80 a barrel, and I'm really thinking that if we do sell off either tonight or tomorrow, we could have a stop loss run. If you guys remember the trade that I was thinking about last night, the trade was using a buy limit order somewhere down here. And tonight, I think it's the same thing. I do believe that a buy limit order will be great. For example, if we sell off, then I get triggered in. This is the same area I was looking at last night. It didn't get triggered today. If we sell off down below $80 a barrel, I want to be long crude oil. The exact price, that's debatable. I could go in because this is more of a zone that I'm looking at. I just want crude oil to sell off and give me a better price. Now, does that mean we can't just rally from here? We could, and more often than I would like. Sometimes the market will rally, and it rallies without me, and sometimes that absolutely sucks. So having a limit order is letting the market come to me, getting me the risk reward that I like, where I could do something and have something like this. There's my risk. I get triggered into a buy limit. There's my stop loss. And then maybe, I have some take profits up here in some of these areas. It's a little bit harder for this because we're in and out of the markets by the end of the New York session here at Topstep. And sometimes when I get into a position like this, I like to hold this for like a week or, just let it play out. But here at Topstep, this is still valid to a point, right? Where we can just have a little bit lower targets, maybe tighten stuff up just a little bit, and we shorten our time frame horizon. This is a 60-minute chart. You know, very much, we might not even come down here. Maybe we even just come, I mean, who knows where the market's going to be, but to me, this is where we have a lot of support in this zone, and if we do sell off, we would be getting triggered in. Right around $80 a barrel is what I'm looking at. So now remember, this is letting the market come to me, and this is saying only if we sell off, I will get triggered into a long. A lot of times, if we rally, I miss this. I think I'm getting to that point to where I don't want to wait for the market. Maybe I put a buy limit down here, and it would trigger me into a long. But I think oil's getting to that point where I will be okay if I put a buy stop. And so that's just a breakout trade where I put a buy stop, you know, maybe something like this. And I mean, it's a little bit harder to control my stop loss on this and work at a good risk reward. Yeah, buy stops is always difficult for me personally, just because of the risk reward. I just like higher risk reward trades. But buy stops means I'm getting in as we break out, so it would trigger me into a long here. A buy stop is more probable. Maybe I get into 2 or 3 contracts using a buy stop, and then it will allow me to close out of like a take profit here, and maybe hold on to 1 or 2, and have a couple runners. Get a pick and we'll put it on TV. Am I missing some of this chat here? Yep, I live in Kardashian country. Sometimes I miss what you guys are chatting about. When you do your analysis, do you look for imbalance or inefficiency? Reda, no, I do not. It's pure technical analysis. You guys are talking about the Kardashians. Then you have made me some good money. Not sure what you mean by that one. Kitchen. So what you guys are saying is, if you get a picture of the Kardashians, or if we could get someone famous on here, we can get more viewers. That's what you're saying? They're your neighbors, Richard? Let's see. I'm going to run a poll because I learned how to do a poll. And whenever I learn something new, I'm like a little kid. I want to do it. Let's see. Who's new here? I want to see who's new for Slow Markets class. And I'll start continuing to analyze. I'll jump over to the Nikkei, and we'll start talking about the Nikkei as well. Kim will come on for Tops Quit. No. If we get anyone famous, instead of Top Quiz, let's just bring them on to Slow Markets. They're busy during the day, and if they have something else during the afternoon, they could come on. Can you please tell your views on Nikkei, especially after CPI today? Yeah, let's talk about Nikkei. So here's the Nikkei. And before I do this, I got so many questions on the Nikkei yesterday. I just want to go over this one, right? Here's Topstep X. Okay, I've been testing Topstep X out. You guys could see this. And sure enough, over here on the left-hand side, there's this question mark. Okay, and this is where we could go ahead and you could do feedback. You could see the roadmap. And if you want Nikkei, and I'm going to suggest, everybody who trades Nikkei, including myself, which we're talking about the Nikkei almost pretty much daily here, come in here and you can see all the posts. You could come in here and you could put Nikkei on Topstep X. You could vote it up. You could vote it down. And so I would 100% suggest that. I did it. I'm waiting for it. I'm excited to get Nikkei onto Topstep X, of course. And I'm testing Topstep X. And, sooner or later, once I feel comfortable, I'm going to be making the switch, right? But as of right now, my live account is on NinjaTrader. My Express funded accounts are here. I'm testing some combines there, so 100% take a look at it. But anyway, yeah, I think DAX, I mean, there's a lot of suggestions in there. I don't want to go through and spend the time and ask. If anything, I would just recommend going in and upvoting any of the ones that you want, especially Nikkei. If you guys are trading Nikkei, just go in and 100% upvote that. But here is Nikkei. As you guys can see, this is a 100 tick chart, and this is very similar to an hourly chart on the Nikkei. And you guys could see we are in a very strong uptrend since mid-March. This is one heck of a rally. It really is. We've just been going up and up and up. This was the previous all-time high, right around 40,415. We broke that, and we broke that. We hesitated a little bit, and then we went all the way up. Pretty much today, we went up and we tested 40,960. So right now, man, it's hard to get long because we've came so far so fast. And so I'm going to have to say, I think we could have a pullback in the Nikkei, very much like we've seen on the NASDAQ. And so, like I said, this is a 100 tick chart. And let me zoom out and kind of show you what I'm thinking. I don't think it will be a dramatic pullback, but I do think we could get some type of a sell-off, maybe down to 40,600 before we find a continuation to the long side. It's just, this is such a rally, and I don't want to get into a mindset of like, oh, well, it can't go any higher. We can't go any higher, and be in a situation like I was today during Nikkei or NASDAQ, say trying to short all-time highs. But a lot of times we see what you guys could see here. So this was February, and this was a big rally in February. When we have, and typically what we've seen is when we've had these big rallies, we do get, a period of consolidation and pullback, right? Like these are some decent pullbacks. And that's what I'm looking for tonight in the Nikkei. Tonight, maybe tomorrow, is possibly something like that. I don't know how far down it will go, but I think it would be it wouldn't be unexpected. I think it would be at least healthy for the Nikkei to have some type of a pullback. And so, yeah, I'm looking for some short-term pullback here on the Nikkei. We did make a pivot here during the open. Here's the pivot, and we're struggling to break out. So if anything, I think maybe we can sell off. I'm actually liking this, to be honest, guys. Let's go ahead and see if we get into some shorts. Okay, there we go. I just got in 3 contracts short Nikkei. And so I'm looking for that pullback. Will we get it? Maybe, maybe not. But here's my thought process. Let me make sure I get a stop loss up here. There we go. And so I'm looking at a risk-reward perspective in terms of where we're at. If we do get that pullback, right now my risk would be the high of the session, let's say 920. And if we do get that sell-off down to 600, that would be a good 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risk-reward. Let's watch this the rest of the night. I like this. I might management. I might go ahead and trail it. We will see. I don't know if I'll hold this all night. Maybe I close out 1 contract in profit and then I let 2 or 1 of these contracts run. But what I'm looking for is maybe a test of these lows. If we do end up breaking down, maybe we could test somewhere down to where we consolidated in this area. We shall see. But I like the risk reward on this one. Douglas PC, how far a pullback are you looking? Oh, or has there been one recently? So I think I'm just going to be looking for an average pullback here on the Nikkei. And now it's like, what is average, right? We had these decent pullbacks recently, and we've seen on those higher time frames where, oh man, because we always want to think like, oh, did we already have that pullback? Was this the pullback? Was this the area to get in long? If we're looking this past week, yes. But as you guys just seen, I was looking at a little bit further back at some of these deeper pullbacks when we do get them from a really bullish trend. And definitely something like this. Like maybe I'm looking for this from the top. It looks like 39,640 all the way down to 200. So that's a 400 pullback. And so maybe we can get a 300 or 400 pullback here. So the high is 900. Maybe we could get down to 600. We'll see. But the risk reward, I think, is there for me. We'll watch this tonight. And then another thing, sorry if I'm moving my charts so fast. Let me go ahead and show you guys what it looks like on a 5-minute chart. Now remember, it's a very thin order book. And this is what I'm looking at, right? Here's the all-time high. We're kind of have some down pressure. Maybe there's an opportunity for me to get in at a better price and have a much better risk reward. Yeah, there's definitely an opportunity to get in at a better risk reward. But if I am looking for us to sell off and go back down to this session's low, below 800, I think this is a decent price. I mean, at least very much this is a 1-to-1 risk reward. So maybe I just put a buy limit down here. So if we do come and test these session lows, I'm immediately have at least a 1-to-1 risk reward on this. Or maybe we just break up and I take a loss. That's also possible because we are actually just breaking up. And maybe we take a loss. And then I had gold here. While this trade plays out, I was going to talk about gold. And it looks like for some reason it didn't save my gold here. Yep, and we're getting ready to break out. I'm just going to get I'm just going to keep this on. And then we'll switch to gold. We rolled over. Did we roll over the gold futures contracts yet? I think we did. I'll keep you guys updated. You've seen my stop loss. I'll keep you updated on this position. And we might end up breaking out. We will see. We are hovering and testing the 40,900. While we do that, I'm going to pull up gold. Okay, Dakota, do you look at inside bars or multiple inside bars? Richard Harris, I look at inside bars as consolidation. So very much I would say that inside bars are consolidation. And like I was talking about on the NASDAQ, we were getting some inside bars and we were consolidating. And so, yes, very much I do look at inside bars and I look at those as consolidation. We long, baby? Yeah, I mean, we're kind of hesitating right there. I'm actually, let me see. Just a moment, guys. Okay. Yeah, Nikkei is still just not breaking out. It's holding below 40,900. So here's gold. Let me go ahead and end this poll and see. So 24% said yes, you guys are brand new here. That's interesting. 75% of you guys are, what do you call it? You've been here to multiple slow markets. 24% is brand new. Wow. Welcome, Cambo TV. Yeah, if you guys are brand new, maybe shout out in the chat. That's great to see so many new traders. And, if you are new here, I would 100% suggest watching, going and joining us, nightly, Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And, I'm talking to Danielle in the chat and some other Topstep team members about doing some giveaways to traders who are here consistently, to where if you are here, it's free, right? You are either in your pajamas, maybe you're around the world, wherever you're at. We're talking about the markets. We're talking about what happened during the day on these higher time frames, and holding trades overnight into the New York session tomorrow. And traders who are here consistently, I am trying to find a way to reward them in terms of either Topstep X Combine or giveaways, and that's still to be determined. And that's something I want to work on, is getting a slow markets audience, rewarding the audience, rewarding the people who show up consistently, and they just don't show up for the new stuff and then leave, right? I don't like that. I mean, it's great. I love to see it, and it gives traders the opportunity. Just, hey, come show up. We'll give you something free. And if you like it, stay. If not, then that's okay. At least you had an opportunity to get something for free. I like that aspect, but even more, I like the aspect of, what? You're here. You're loyal. You've been enjoying slow markets. Let's reward you for that. So here's gold. Gold is interesting, guys. Like I said, I have not traded gold for a while. This is the first time I've been starting to look at gold. And we had that huge rally up. This is a 60-minute chart. And sure enough, we kind of consolidated. And what would we say? Inside bar? Can we say that all these are inside bars? Right? And then as soon as we broke out, man, gold is volatile. Is it just me? Because it sure looks like gold is volatile. Consolidated, and we sure enough just sold right off. I think we could have a continuation, okay, where I don't know what happened with gold. I mean, yeah. Oh, wow. You know what? Sorry, guys. Here we go. Let's see. All right. I'm going to move my take profit. I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, that happened really quick. Check the NASDAQ. Something's happening in the markets. Let's look. We're going to zoom in. Something's going on. Well, I'm short Nikkei. I'm sorry. I'm going to watch my Nikkei trade. Let's see what's going on here. We're getting a little bit of a sell-off. Making some money. Yeah, let's watch this together. What's going on? You guys are gonna laugh. I'm gonna show you this. Let's see. Let's see if we could get out. I'm managing a position in my live account too on my phone. So let's see if we can get out of this. Live account is harder to trade because the fills are not the best. The fills are not the best here. Let's see. I said 600, right? I'm watching this. You guys can see I'm managing this trade on my live account on my phone. And I have my simulated here on my platform in front of you guys. And something happened. Well, let's see if we could, you know what? Actually, this would be a good area. I'm just going to keep my take profit here. See if we get a push down and I could close out of one and lock in some profit. Definitely want to be locking in profit as we sell off, trying to get into a risk-free trade, managing risk for and foremost. Kind of just hesitating now. We went straight down. That was from 910 all the way down to 780. That was really quick. Now we're starting to bounce a little bit off that. This is a 1 minute. I just zoomed in to get a more granular scale or granular view, I guess. However we want to say that. Well, that happened really fast. Was there any news? Did I miss something? Oh my God, I moved stop in profit on Nikkei, and bam, fat fingers got stopped out. Tanya, hey, at least you got stopped out for profit, right? That is a positive thing. Dump for no reason. you're trying to get my attention. What pair is this? This is the Nikkei. Yeah, this is the Nikkei. I'm going to let this trade play out. That was a really quick sell-off. Let's see if we could get some type of a continuation down. I'm perfectly fine with getting that. Somebody had a Nikkei trying to get short at 110. Oh, yeah, that would have been interesting, right? If you would have got filled at 910. But that's the thing, right? That's the thing with a thin order book and a market that's not very liquid and it's very slow, right? I could go ahead and I could bring up, here's the DOM, and you can see there's not a lot at the bid or asks, right? So getting filled is going to be difficult, especially during a less than volatile time, less than liquid. It's the slow markets. So, yep, getting filled is going to be more difficult than a regular session, than normal, and than other markets. As you guys seen, I don't want to say lucky, but I happened to get filled. I didn't get the best price. And part of that is, yes, you will end up giving up some price and some profit to get filled. And in the live account, it's much more difficult. In combines and in express funded accounts, we are not getting live orders. And so we are a little bit more spoiled when it comes to that aspect on trying to get filled. So there's also some give or take, right? So I like this trade. I'm going to continue to watch this. We'll see if we can get a continuation. I love to see a continuation. This trade is happening really fast. Japan's economic data release recently. I mean, this is as fast as a market moves during slow markets. Typically, this is it, right? Like this is as fast as slow markets gets, I guess. But it was quick, right? Like if you tell me I was trading, that move happened extremely fast. I was down like $600 or something, and immediately I'm up, almost 1,000. We'll see if we could get a continuation down to 760 and maybe start looking to take profits if we start breaking down. Anyway, as we watch this and as we see what happens in the Nikkei, if we get that pullback, I'm going to continue to talk about gold. Who in here is a gold trader? I want to see, because essentially I look at this as the same thing. I don't really look at fundamentals in gold or what's going on too much in the gold market. It's very similar to the way I analyze these other markets. All right, we got a lot of traders. Jordan, Andrew. Yeah, we got a lot of gold traders. Not yet. Well, if you haven't explored gold, I mean, I won't say try all these different markets. I'm simply doing this for the traders who do trade gold. I've been a gold trader. I am a gold trader. I put it, on the back burner. I haven't traded gold for a few months now. I'm bringing it up because it is a market that we could watch and it has opportunities to trade. So the first thing that I see in gold is we had a huge rally up. Well, this is a very common pattern that we see in a lot of markets, right? I don't know, maybe something like this. And a lot of time when we break out, we come back and test it. However, I don't like this big of a test if we were to come down. Essentially, I think this is a failed breakout in my opinion, and that's the way that I'm looking at this, would be a failed breakout, where I'm going to look at the most immediate price action now. And essentially what I see here in gold, this is a 60-minute gold chart, is we rallied up, we failed, and I think we are now turning into we're transitioning into a short-term down. Let me look at the daily actually, because I think, I think we could see a sell-off here in gold. We failed that breakout. That's a really ugly candle on the daily. We had a huge rally. It's been a while since I traded gold, so I'm still trying to get into it. But essentially what I'm thinking and the way that I'm viewing this market is that, the bias is now to the downside. We had a sell-off. I'm looking at this as possibly a pullback with the view of a continuation. That is what I'm looking at. Let me see. Yeah, Hoop, thanks. That's a good call out. This is an April contract. So let's look at, has it rolled yet? It's rolling to what month? June? Oh, what's going on here? Was I looking at the wrong contract? This is the wrong contract. All right, scratch everything I just said. That and that makes sense. Man, rollovers just kill me, guys. Heavy selling yesterday. Is this the right contract? Let me know. This is June contract in gold. Is this correct, or am I wrong on this? To me, this looks like it's correct. This was April's, and this is June. June is J. Let's look at this. Here's a way to do it. I love Topstep X. Yeah, J4. Oh, let's see here. Let's take a look at gold. Yep. So here, I mean, that's right. 2182. Yeah, the front month is J. So I think I'm going to pass J. I'm not going to deal with the rollover. I have a bad taste in my mouth already from taking some losses in the rollover on NASDAQ. Let's wait till next week, and then I can bring, I'll bring gold over. But yeah, it looks like the way that I'm seeing, yeah, you're right. You're saying April has more volume. It's in the middle of a rollover. We're going into, it's almost April anyway in a couple weeks. So I'm going to hold off maybe next week. I could start talking a little bit more about gold once this rollover is finished. But anyway, yeah, it looks like NASDAQ just sold off there. I mean, sell off. We failed to break up higher. And so maybe I just start talking about the NASDAQ. Nikkei's not doing anything. I'm looking at it over here on my left, and we're kind of just going sideways from that. We didn't have that continuation yet. So anyway, here's the NASDAQ. We failed to break higher tonight, and so maybe we do get a continuation to the downside, and we do get a sell-off and possibly have an opportunity to get in long. Or maybe we have an opportunity to get into some buy limits down here and limit risk. So if we are still bullish the NASDAQ, maybe it's something where we can have some buy limits down here, have a stop loss here, and then we get a much better risk reward, a much better price, and this is a good area to limit risk. That's a possibility. Or we continue down and find some support either down into this area or something right here. And what I'm looking at is I look over here to the left, and during the FOMC and during this big rally up, we see some, resistance here, some support and resistance, and so areas. So I'm going to be looking for these areas if I want to be getting long, and if I am looking for a pullback, those are the areas that would make an attractive long, and for areas where I can limit my risk. Will we get down there? Maybe, maybe not. We are still in a bullish market. We just made an all-time high. And so I'm looking for longs, right? I don't want to be shorting this market just because we did make an all-time high and we're bullish since FOMC. So I do not want to be shorting the NASDAQ. I'm just looking for a pullback. So do we break down to these levels? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to try and be patient. I'm going to try and focus or work on being patient and look for these levels. Either if we are aggressive, then maybe some buy limits down here, or if we just want to wait and see if we could catch a rally, wait for, like you said, DK PAL. maybe we wait for the morning, maybe don't even touch it. Or if we think, I want to get long, I don't want to miss this opportunity. So maybe I put a buy stop up here, and if we do break out, then I would get triggered into a long. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that's it. I think that's it. We're coming up on the last 9 minutes. Let's get some more questions, and then we'll go from there. Ryan Francis, no, there is no promo code, but if you join me during slow markets, there will be some giveaways in the future. As long as you are joining me during slow markets, there will be some giveaways into the future. We're working on that. Danielle confirmed. She's always giving me some updates tonight. I will be on Topstep TV tomorrow, so everybody knows. I will be on Topstep TV tomorrow during Power Hour. I will be trading. Hey, Coach, was there a specific event that caused you to become more profitable, meaning a book you read, meditation, or just time in the market? Ooh, that is a good question. I'm going to switch over to Nikkei, and we could watch this together. So the question is, and I love this question. This is a great question. From American Pride, was there a specific event that caused me to become more profitable? Meaning, did I read a book? Was it meditation? Or is it like what, maybe like that aha moment is what I'm understanding from that question? Like, was there an aha moment that I was like, you know what? This is what I'm doing wrong, and that made me profitable. I think there wasn't an exact moment. I think it, for me, and I think everybody is different when it comes to this. Everybody goes through this at their own pace, and they have their own experiences in the market. For me personally, it was realizing that anything that happens during a day does not make me a bad or a good trader. Anything that happens during a day does not mean that I have a good or bad strategy. So the day-to-day market movements does not make me a bad or a good trader, and it does not mean that I have a bad or good strategy. Same with the weekly movements or monthly movements. And it's really changed from looking at, daily, weekly, monthly to basically quarterly and yearly, like looking at longer time frames in my own trading. I'm not saying, I'm looking at 60-minute in the daily charts. I'm looking at my statistics. So instead of looking at my statistics every day, looking at my statistics weekly, I started only looking at my statistics monthly, and then quarterly, and then semi-annual. And I started looking at my statistics from a bigger point of view, and started noticing that, you know what? This was a rollover week, and my trading was horrible. My strategy's still good. However, the strategy that I was trading for that type of market did not work. That was not the correct strategy for that type of market. For example, maybe I was trading a trending strategy. Like, I was going for breakout trades, and that, consolidating market does not like breakout trades, or vice versa. And really increasing the sample size that I look at for my statistics, and knowing that I'm trying to put this in words, right? Because I have a lot that I'm thinking through. So essentially it's stop making day-to-day adjustments, stop making week-to-week adjustments, and thinking that every trade I should change what I'm looking at and how I'm trading. And get to the point is like, I have a strategy. I'm going to follow this strategy for 1 month. After 1 month, then I will evaluate my statistics, and only then will I make a determination on whether I need to adjust something or trade a different way. And so I would say looking at it as a marathon rather than a sprint, because so many traders that I see struggle so much because they change things so frequently. Maybe they change something every single week. and then they change it and they struggle. Maybe they're looking at a VWAP and they struggle with it. Then they're looking at a moving average and they struggle with that. And they look at this and look at that and this and this and that. And yeah, that was a very long, drawn out question. Maybe I could do a whole class on that, but definitely the less you need to do, the better you are off. And 100% it applies. Keep it super simple is 100% the correct way to look at it. Like, look at this. You guys watched me analyze Nikkei live in front of you. You guys watched me place this order. Very, very simple. No indicators. Basic technical analysis. And you know what? Sure enough, it's might be working out. We're starting to sell off here in the Nikkei. And it's looking not too bad. We'll see if we could get triggered. Yeah, that made a nice. I like this structure. I know it's a thin order book. I get it. It's very hard to see this, but we made a lower low and we made a lower high, and now we just made another lower low. So let's see if we could get filled here at 760. And while we're doing that, I am going to admit, let's see. I'm managing my live account on my phone. Combine demo on my platform, but I need to manage my live account on my phone, guys. So that's why you will see me on my phone. You could say I'm up just over 2,000 in this live account. So we'll see if I could get some fills here. It's very difficult to get fills in the live. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Let's go buy limit. And I want to be getting out at limits. Okay, I got out of 1. Let's try another one at 45. Let's see. Let's see if we could break here. There's the break. All right, let's see if I can get out at 20. I'll get out another contract at 20. Sorry, I'm doing this on my phone, but you guys are watching it. I got out of 1. I have another buy limit order here. Let's go here. Let's see if we could get to 7. Let's see. This is a very informal class. Sorry, guys. This is live trading, so get used to it. I got to make sure I adjust this. Yeah, get used to this. This is as raw as it gets as a trader. I'm managing my combines and demo on my computer and platform, and then I'm managing my live account here on my mobile phone. That's just the reality. Let's go ahead and do 730. See if I get out another one at 730. Because sometimes it doesn't fill me 100%. Right now I'll let you guys. I'll show you guys the profit here in just a moment. I like to see some type of momentum here. It looks like we broke down. We didn't get much momentum right there. So I'll give it a minute before I try and get out of another one. We might get a bounce before a continuation. I would like to see this hit 700. That's what I was looking at. I do have one take profit at 700. We'll see if we could get there. Fleshecito. Dakota, what's the largest size you've ever traded? Largest I've ever done was probably the 15 contracts in a combine account. No. It wasn't a combine account. The largest size I've ever done, full disclosure, it was the TopstepTV takeover when I was on TopstepTV. It was just me and Rips, right? And I was trading my live account, and you guys probably, if you could probably rewatch this, I think it was Thursday or Friday. I freaking fat fingered it, and it marketed me in 15 contracts in my live account. So that was the biggest trade I've ever taken in a live account, was a fat finger 15 contracts. Man, that was, and you seen me, I rewatched that stream, and you could see me, I'm like, whoops. And then he was like, what happened? I was like, hold on. I gotta fix this. Hassan, how'd that turn out? Daily loss limit. Minus 3,000 in like 2 minutes. Yeah, freaking market order. Oh, that was not a good day. And I was just getting over a sickness too. So, yeah. Ugh. That was not fun at all. I'm trying to get filled here. I have a buy limit at 730. 40,000, 730. We'll see if we're not really getting any continuation here. Maybe some consolidation. I'm surprised. That's so frustrating. Here's the pivot that I'm looking at it. I'm seeing a little pivot here right around 7, bottom of 715. A lot of times we can see some whole numbers. But I do like, we just made a new low, right? Higher low, lower low, lower low, lower high. And so I'm perfectly fine if we go and maybe go up to 4080 or 40,800. That's also a possibility, because I've taken profit. I've already taken profit in my live. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. That's probably the smart thing to do. Manage risk with that take profit. Then I'm in a risk-free trade. So there's my risk-free trade. The stream's going a little bit over. Sorry, Danielle, but I'm managing this position. I don't imagine it. I just want to make sure I'm in a position to where I'm okay, and I could focus. So this stream's going probably a few minutes over. I think I'm just going to move that to break even. I'm moving my live account. Essentially, this is an identical trade on my live. Give the people what they want. Oh, how many times has it came down and I almost hit your take profit and then turn around? I'm going to keep that at 15. Hey, coach, can you please explain how do you use buy limit or sell stop? Just watch, right? This is a buy limit. Here's my stop limits. Feel free to watch any recordings of slow market. I pretty much go over those every single night during slow markets. I talk about buy limits, buy stops, sell limits, sell stops, and those different things. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple questions while we watch this. This could happen really quick, and if we do start to consolidate, maybe I just end the streak. You could see how this will play out. I have my stop loss 2, orders 2. I'm still in 3 contracts short on my live account. Oh, here we go. Let's see if we could get a fill here. Oh, it just filled me on my live with 1. So I just got out of another one on my live. Let's see here. Let's see if we're going to push down. We didn't break it. We just hit 725. So it got me out of another one on my live on 725. So now I'm in an identical position, 2 contracts short on my live and 2 contracts short here. Let's see. T.O., do you take trades and let them run overnight? Yes, this is one of them. I will most likely let this one, if I take profit on this one, I'm actually going to move it down to 10. I think if we break, we'll break and have some more momentum. This is a great example. If I close out of this one, then I will let one trade run overnight. And maybe I let this one, if we could come back down towards 600. If we do break and see 600, that will be great. That's what I would want to see. A sell-off and maybe a test of 40,600. Okay, I seen 720 flash at the bid. Here we go. 725 is at the bid right now. Yeah, and this class is going a little bit longer just because I'm in the trade and we have some price action. It's not going to go too much longer. We're starting to hesitate right here. If we do break 725, I do see us going down to 700 even. So my next take profit on my live is, I have one at 720, and then I'm actually going to move that at 705. 40,705 is my take profit on the live account. See if we could sell off right now. And then I'll give you an update right before I end the stream of where I am at on my total. If we can have that another push down. Just a little bit longer. Your popcorn's almost empty. Yeah, we're testing 25. So to be honest, if we do break, it might not be much longer. We have 20 contracts at the bid. Let me show you this. Here's this. I'm watching this just a little bit, not too much. Here's my one order. My live is here. There's 20 here at 720. So I have both these on. And this might be just too slow, guys. If this starts to hesitate any longer, I'm going to end the stream, and that's how it's going to be. Like, this is where I will leave it. If it gets to that point, I will leave these trades going overnight. Like, I would turn my computer off. I would go to bed with this on, and I'd wake up in the morning and see where we're at. But I would really love for us to sell off, obviously, because I'm in a short. If we do break down, most likely what I'll do is I'll move my stop loss to say here, and then I would just let it run. Just lock in profits and then let it run. Okay, yep, I think we might just consolidate and maybe have a bounce up. I think, yeah, we didn't get much momentum on that break. We broke the session low, and we only went not very far. So maybe we consolidate, maybe not. We'll see. I locked in profit, so I'm happy. And maybe between now and when I wake up, this could be filled. We will see. Good luck, huh? So, all right, guys. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. We will see where this trade plays out. Hopefully in my favor, but I will probably close my computer off, go get something to eat, and then be done. And this is a good example. I'm at a position where I'm going to turn my computer off, and I am not going to care what happens in the market because my stop losses break even, and I'm going to let this sucker run. So good night, everybody. I enjoyed it. Take care.